There he is. Someone.
Hey, John.
Hey, we got another John.
Yeah.
And Howard, how are you guys doing?
Well,
Thank you, Howard, and thank you, John, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
And we are live now. We Gary and I was just talking, and we wasn't live before, and I didn't want to go live, and it was just me. So I I could probably do it if I was feeling 100%, but I'm not feeling 100%.
Your voice still bothering you?
Yeah, actually, I tested positive Friday. So
Positive for what? Lack of humor?
COVID, yeah, lack of humor.
Uh-huh.
Tested COVID. Tested.
Oh my goodness.
No, but I just have it feels like flu-like symptoms. I really,
It sounds like Omicron.
all right, yeah, well. So anyway, so I'm taking the week off of work, and it'll be all right. I think I'm progressing. I'm feeling better. I ate really good this evening, so I think that's a telltale sign that I'm doing better.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And Jack Snavely says, have a great 4th. Hello all, and have a great 4th. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that.
So I guess I don't even need to ask you if you went flying this week.
No, I didn't. But you know what? I felt like I could, but I just thought it'd be better to just rest.
Well, if you tested positive, you're probably best to stay home and don't hang around people. Kind of, no sense spreading it.
There would have been no one there with me because I had told them I wasn't going to go flying. So I would have been out by myself if I went today. Yeah, so which would have been fine with me. I've been working on my reverse wingovers and pullouts, getting them lower and lower. But I'm getting them lower by inches, it seems like, not by feet.
I went to the SIG meet way back in the 80s. And the preacher, the Stuka Stunt guys, he and father and son, Matt Newman, was there flying, and his father was coaching him. And I remember I was absolutely amazed at Matt because his father says, you need to bring it. He talked the same thing you're doing with it, the reverse wing over.
Mm-hmm.
He says, son, you need to bring it down 1.5 feet. He said, okay, next one, 1.5 feet lower, right there. Oh, I could never have done that. Not 1.5 feet. I might be able to get a little lower, but, and, his dad told me he needed to do this a little higher or what? How you doing there?
Yeah, that's I really I don't know if I just said this before, but it seems like it's almost like it's not blindness, but it's like I just can't see beyond a certain point, and I just kind of bail. I hope to, after exposing myself to it, I'll be able to see, because I have an indicator where 6 feet is. There's like 2 or 3 baseball diamonds around me. And so they have a yellow corrugated border on top of the fence, which is at 6 feet.
It's so just fear. It's fear.
All right, I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I resemble that remark.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Hi, Bob.
Hi there. How you doing, John?
I'm doing well. You're looking good. Happy couple days after Canada Day.
Yeah, thank you. And I was dialing in to wish you guys all a happy 4th of July.
Oh, thank you very much. I was expecting you to come in because I figured there's no fireworks going on there today for you guys. So I thought you'd be in here. So I'm glad you came in.
I don't know how long I'm going to hang around, but I hadn't been in for just about 2 weeks. So I thought I'd better.
Yeah.
Very good.
I still got that thing. Bob, I still got that heat gun. Not heat gun.
You're trying to say iron?
Huh?
You're trying to say iron?
Yeah, that's it. I still got that here. It hasn't
No
gone
panic.
anywhere.
I was going to check with you, make sure it wasn't lost in one of our postal systems, but I'm not in a panic on it.
No, I've been kind of sloughing off on things I need to get done, and that's one of them I need to get done. But it's safe. It's not going anywhere. It's yours.
Yeah, it's going to be a backup anyway because I spent through the nose and got that super fancy electronic digital one.
Oh yeah,
And boy, that works nice.
super.
Hey, Mark Wise, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Charles, good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Hi, Mark.
I was on earlier, but I didn't go live. It was just Gary and myself. I wasn't sure who was going to show up. And once I had a couple of people come in, then I went live. But yeah, here we are.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you
guess
look
I better
live.
give a like now too.
Yeah, that's
Now
what
you
I
can
just.
give a like. Yeah, before you couldn't give a like because I wasn't
There you go.
streaming. Thank you.
Yeah.
You are a VIP.
Yeah, I give you one. Too.
VIP to you too, Gary.
I was watching the wingovers on some of the flights you guys was doing and different, and it looks like you start out and then you come over, but when you come down, instead of coming down straight, and I don't know, it just seems like it wants to go this way before you come this way. Is
Yeah,
that
some
something
people do. Yeah, some people do. Either they're either behind the plane or they're ahead of it, and inadvertently they're given input, which makes the plane wave or something.
Okay. Didn't know it was just my angle that's caused it to look that way.
No,
or what.
it's you should get a demerit for that, because it's supposed to be straight over your head, a straight line, like Keith Tross would say, center of path,
Yeah.
and then you pull out, and you come back around and pull out.
You notice a lot of guys, Charles, they'll pull up. When they get overhead, they got to kink it up there. They put it,
Yes,
and what that's from is turning.
right, exactly. Yes.
Mhm.
And that maneuver is it's not easy to execute it correctly.
Well, I think when I was younger and doing it, they always comment and I had to do a good wing over. But if I recall, my lines was slack just a little bit. And I think that's why I did such good wing overs, because I didn't have tight on the airplane like you guys fly. So
Yeah, John has said several times about how, and when he used to do the pattern, he would do a little bit free flighting because of the lack of power of the engines back then. Is that right, John?
Yeah, I would run a McCoy 35, and it was just really rich in a four-stroke. And the first time Dick Williams set my engine up that way, I didn't think I was going to be able to take off, but it did. And then when I pulled up for the reverse swing over, I didn't think it was going to make it over, but it did. But at about 50 degrees or so, maybe 50, 55, 60 degrees, somewhere in there, the lines would get loose and it free flight across the top of the circle. And then you just, that's when you turn, and then you just wait for it to get there, and then it get tight right there.
yeah.
Yeah. Today, that would probably be considered an error if you did it that way.
Yeah. Let me explain something to you guys real quick. When I wasn't live streaming, I was recording. So I'm going to stop the recording since we're live streaming. So you're going to hear something to that fact. That's what that is. I don't know if could you guys hear that, or only I hear that?
Recording
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, so I was recording it because I was thinking I wasn't even going to live stream if we didn't have anybody show up. And so then I was going to just forego live streaming it. So
Yeah, I checked the live stream first because you usually do that before you go open it up for us. So I was waiting and nothing happening. So I thought I'd better check if it's canceled or whatever. And then I saw join meeting. So, okay.
yeah. So Jeff Riley says, happy 4th, pilots. And he says, slack lines in the wing over makes for difficult overhead eights. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if I said earlier, but Dennis Adamson says, hi, Charles, like delivered. Hope to join you in a few. Thank you, Dennis.
I saw a picture, Charles, of Mark Lipinski. See, I got to sneeze. I think I got, never mind. Oh, if I have to sneeze, it'll just sneeze.
Just sneeze and just hit the mute button. That's what I was doing Friday. I was muting and then disabling the video. That's what I was doing all last Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, he was doing an overhead maneuver. I don't know whether he's going over on the reverse swing over or on the overhead eights. But the picture showed him with his knuckles about 3 inches off the pavement.
Yeah.
He was leaning down that far to keep enough tension to guide the airplane.
Yeah, you seen that image of Dan Banjock on his knees, right?
Yeah.
He had his handles down low as well to get line tension.
Actually, I was just watching that today. I just stumbled across this site I didn't know, Dead Poet Clan. And it's darn good videos on the Nats and regionals and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, that's done by David Shorts, Lanny Shorts' son.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good footage.
Yeah, David Shorts, shout out to you. You do a really good job. I really enjoy your videos. Hey, Brendan, how you doing?
Doing really well. Angstrom and I did get the twister up yesterday, our first flights, maiden flights. And I'll tell you what, he said he didn't have enough throw in it, so I went to adjust it. And good thing I took a look. The push rod, let's see, the screw I hold it in didn't have a nut on it. So very easily confirm the whole control system during the flight. It maintained for the 2 little practice flights we had, though. We got it trimmed up, and by the end of the day, he was doing some square eights on it. So it's not very edgy. So we're gonna have to kind of find out where the lead out adjustments kind of work. But I was ecstatic that we spent so long putting that twister together, and just to be able to get in the air and him to have relative control over it, it was fantastic. So
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't catch every word. I don't know if everybody else could catch every word.
He was doing a little banjo playing there for a while.
I don't know if your bandwidth, if your kids are doing a lot, or your household is everyone's on the computer, but your bandwidth is a little bit compromised.
A little choppy.
Yeah, you had the banjo action going, like John said. So I didn't understand. I understood what you were saying, but I didn't hear every word. So
Okay.
I did hear, though, that you got it squared away to where at the end he was doing square.
Yeah, he was doing square eights, which he hasn't done a whole bunch of those, but he committed himself to it. He was out there doing some square eights, and again, the squares weren't too edgy, so we got to figure out where to make the adjustments for that. But I don't know. I was ecstatic to know that we'd spent that much time, because I put together one stick built plane. The only other one I put together, a Lightning Streak, did not go so well for me. So this one, I was glad that we were able to at least get in the air. And there was no wind yesterday either when we flew it, and it had perfect tension and didn't do anything wonky or goofy. So
Outstanding.
Yeah, there's quite a feeling of satisfaction building from just a box of balsa wood rather than ARFs and all that.
Yeah, and again, my previous experience was the only one that I've done like that. I got it up in the air one day. It was a bunch of garbage, so I haven't gone back. So it was nice to spend all this time with him building this, and then just have something that I think is going to be good. And then the other thing was, you guys have seen that chrome finish to it, and it was gorgeous looking in the air. People were over for 4th of July stuff, commenting on it, and so it was. I'm really happy for it.
Yeah, I'm always so appreciative that my first airplane was Christmas 1971. I was, I guess, 12 years old, and I got Goldberg Cosmic Wind, a box full of wood. I wanted a Cox PT-19, and I'm so darn glad I didn't get it. And I just learned so much, and Fox 35 on it. And it didn't last that long, but I did teach myself the basics of how to fly control lines. So and it just went from there. So to the point where I can hardly move in my basement for airplanes. So it's a good thing.
Well,
It's
Robert,
a very addictive building.
like the old country song says, some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. So
Yeah.
yeah, Yeah,
fact,
can be.
that's it.
Brendan, Brendan, regarding the square eights, I'm not sure if it was Bob Hunt or if it was Tom Dixon, but he told me to focus on the flats. Don't worry about the corners. The corners will show up. So you have to approach it opposite of your natural inclination, is to try to get a hard corner. But if you make those flats really flat, the corners will show up.
Okay. Yeah, something
Yeah.
I'll put in his ear and see how he does.
I have a question for you, Brendan.
Yeah.
Have you measured what your flap throw, how your movement on your flaps and on your elevators? How many degrees of flaps you're getting? How many degrees of elevator?
I didn't take a close measurement of that by any means. I mean, I just kind of eyeballed that.
It might be interesting, so you might need to tune it a little bit with a little more elevator or a little less flap. That, play around in those, that might help you as well. So, you might take a look at that. It may not be the answer at all, but it's just one thing you can check.
Okay.
I bet that airplane sparkles in the air.
Oh, it is. It was fun watching the sun on it, and I mean, Angstrom was commenting on it too. He's just like talking about how beautiful it looks out there and stuff. And I think I talked about it before. We had some issues with the ends and kind of getting to the tips, and it started going a little wonky and not tightening up the monocoat. So I then tried all sorts of stuff, and it's because of that chrome finish or something. It just didn't work very well. So I've got it down here. I'll show you. I think we've talked about it before, but
That's a good solution.
But yeah, I had to go with a different type of monocoat on the end because again, it just wasn't sealing right. You couldn't put a patch job on it. So
That looks good. That looks nice.
yeah, and we'll get into doing something with the canopy and stuff and making it stick out a little bit and get his AMA number, maybe a couple other things, but everything worked really well on it. So I was just ecstatic to get in the air, get it going.
Hey, Brandon, can you point the camera directly? Can you point the camera directly at the flap horn there? I think that'll probably help answer John's questions about throws and stuff. All right, so you're at the top hole on that, and it looks like you're 2 holes down on the flap horn for the elevator push rod.
I'm actually at the tip top and then the very, very bottom.
Okay, and then where is it at the back at the elevator?
Yeah, I had to adjust that and I put it right. Well, let's see. I put it at the very, very bottom to get the most throw out of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've been becoming a real big fan. I think John knows where I'm going with this, don't you, John?
Yeah.
Take the connection at the wing, or at the front of the elevator push rod, put it as high as it'll go.
Yep.
Off the flap horn, and then that'll actually let you move it away from the elevator at the back, and you'll still maintain your throw. But what you'll get out of that is you'll get a more continuous or more powerful leverage into the elevator, and it will, over time, in less than stunt heaven conditions and stuff like that, you'll find that you have a lot more power at the elevator for controlling and keeping it consistent.
So you're saying reverse the positions on the horn on the flap.
Yeah, your bell crank, the push rod from the bell crank to the top of the flap horn, that's just fine. Don't touch it.
Okay.
But the other push rod, the one that goes to the elevator, you have that all the way at the bottom, or it looks like
it was all the way at the bottom. Yes.
All right, put it as high on there as it'll go. Put it like directly below the other. Okay. And then at the elevator, take it and push it away from the elevator as far as it can go.
Okay.
All right. And in a perfect universe, I guess what I'd like to see is that the distance at the flap side was identical to the distance at the elevator side, because that would have the flaps in the elevator both working the same, moving the same amount that much, or the same amount, and the so-called 1-to-1 setup. And that's a pretty good go-to on most airplanes. That really works well. So But the other thing you gain, I think, is important on even twister size airplanes and everything like that. I even did it on that doggone Mustang that we raffled off. I try to get the the push rod holes out as far as you possibly can, just to have more leverage when they get to the control surface. You get more leverage, and it just seems to hold the control in position better. So.
Plus it moves the
makes
net
sense.
span wall.
What's that, John?
It moves the net span wall a little bit. You don't come up on it so quick.
Yeah. And what he's talking about there is that you reach the point where the pull on the airplane is insufficient. You don't get you get the point with any airplane, especially with lighter airplanes, where the line tension will not deliver, will not let you pull hard enough on the handle to move the controls.
Okay.
Okay. And if you can move that out and get the leverage out farther, then it moves that point a little bit. It kicks the can a little farther down the road before you reach that point.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, we'll make the adjustment and see how it goes for us.
Yeah,
I
I think-
tickled to death to see that it's working good for you and it's doing what I thought it might. That sparkling. It's always nice to have it sparkle out on the end of the lines.
Oh, yes.
Let me interrupt you guys. I have a comment from Bill Bomer. He says, "Hi, Charles. Like delivered." Thank you very much, Bill. He says, "Probably John would know what is the best source for the Pathfinder plans. Flying Models plan
Cha-ching. Oh,
or Brodak. I found my FM Flying Models magazine, March 95, with the article."
Well, there's 3 places to get it, and I would say that it would, if you just want to get the plans, I'd get them from Brodak. They're the same plans that the kit's made from, and had information, may have information on it that wasn't available when the plans were published with Flying Models.
but John,
So-
weren't you saying the Flying Models airplane was an I-beam?
No, yes, thank you. I knew there was a reason. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a full I-beam. And the Brodak has got a slightly shorter wingspan. It's got sheeted leading edge. It's a C-tube wing, and it's a much stronger wing than the Flying Models version. So, though the Flying Model version has a longer wing, the spar was something that turned out to not be strong enough for really high G turns. So it got dropped and went in favor. That's why the Brodak one is called the Mark II, is because it has a slightly different wing. Same airfoil, just slightly shorter, sheeted leading edges, a little stronger wing, and we haven't had a problem with that wing. We even use that same wing on the little Pathfinder twin. I call it little. It's the same size airplane as a regular Pathfinder.
Well, if you go to Brodak too, you can also have them, they have a regular stock item. You can get a set of laser cut ribs. And if you're looking at scratch building, there's still no substitute for having a good set of ribs to start with. So.
Absolutely right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hey, Gordon. Thank you for coming in.
All right.
Gordy here.
Hey, 2 times in
Yeah,
a row.
Gordy's here too.
And is
Hey,
that
Gordy.
Bart Kaplinsky with you also?
Yeah, he's gonna be here for a couple more weeks.
All
Hey, well,
right.
fantastic. Now, did you come in through the Stunthangar forum, or you came in the other way?
I went through the Stunthangar. Am I doing it wrong? You sent me an
No,
email.
that's
No.
fine. That's fine.
You're here,
That's
man.
fine. That's fine. I didn't know. I know last time I sent you an email, and I didn't know and I sent you an email tonight as well. I didn't know which way you came in. So
Well, I'm not sure how you want me to come in there,
Oh,
Charles.
it'd be easier if you just do Stunthangar in case I forget to do that. You know, it's just if everybody comes in through Stunthangar Forum, it's best for me. That way I don't leave anybody out. Because I know and I'm just thinking about it, I didn't email this other person who I know. So hopefully they're too busy to come in anyways. And let me say hi to my friend Carl. How you doing, Carl?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Or go in the other room. Go in
Hey,
the other-
I have a question for Bart. Before you guys came in, I was talking about a picture I saw of you. I don't know whether you're doing the reverse swing over or overhead eights, but you were there, had your arm down, your knuckles about 4 inches off the ground. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was over in California. It was a very hot, sultry morning. Engines had no power, and I think I was doing a wing over.
Oh, okay.
It's just to keep.
Wow,
Uh-huh.
that's impressive. I have a
Well,
comment.
Charles,
Yeah, go
Charles, I'm gonna have to go away. I've got to make a phone call up to Alaska to Kim's mother. So
ahead. No problem, man. Thanks for coming in, Bob. And
Good to see you, Bob.
good to see you.
yeah, and hopefully we'll see a bunch of you up here at the end of August for our contest.
Which contest is that? Why don't you go and give a shout out to your contest?
Yeah, it's our annual Prairie Fire stunt contest.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we're flying everything. Just check on the Alberta Control Line Group site there and on Facebook, and there's the poster on there for it and all.
The date again is when?
Last weekend in August, the
Okay.
26th, 27th, 28th, whatever. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
We
Yes,
were
my-
going to have it the
my
week
wife saw
before, but
that.
lots of people couldn't make it, so we rescheduled it. So works out better.
My wife saw that and said, let's go. So I said, okay.
Yeah, and I responded to her too, Howard.
That's great.
Said, you come up here, anybody from your neck of the woods comes up here, I'll grab hold of an airplane and take you for a tour of the area if you want.
Wow, you're talking about a full-scale airplane too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I've got lots of them available, so that's not a problem.
That would be awesome. Wow. Never been in a full-size airplane privately owned, I've only been in commercial airplanes.
I know how you can get Gordy up there. Take him
Oh.
up for a P-51 flight.
Yeah, that's a little bit beyond my pay scale.
I know, but I had to throw it out.
I used to fly a Mustang too, but that's about as close as I've gotten to a real Mustang. And that's just a home-built two-place.
Yeah, I worked at the airport, so I got to fly quite a few airplanes. So
Hey,
I was
Bob,
Bob,
very
is
fortunate.
Chris Cox going to be there?
Oh, thank you, Dennis.
I don't know yet. I haven't heard.
Okay.
I'd say the odds are probably pretty good since he played hooky last year.
Yeah. Well, if he comes, I won't.
What a rat think.
I got another
Oh.
surprise going to be waiting for you up here too, Howard. But I'm not going to tell you about it on Hangout until after the contest.
Thank
Okay.
you very much. Dennis is holding up a picture of Tom Rammel. And I
Yeah.
believe that's his smoothie. Is that right? And
I
he's
believe
the,
that's a smoothie and it's July. That's what I was told. He's our cover boy for the month.
yes. So
Yeah, that's the smoothie that he thought was a Nobler at one time, according to his write-up on it.
Yeah.
very cool.
Okay, good night, guys.
Hey,
Good
good
night.
night.
Good night, Bob.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in. And thank you for reminding me, Dennis. So I have a few more comments in the chat box. Let me catch up with Bill Bomer says the Pathfinder could be his next profile. And he says, okay, thanks. I will order a set from Brodak. And then Montana Farmer says, hope everyone is having a wonderful 4th. Thank you
Of
very
course.
much. Appreciate that. What'd you say, John? I didn't quite get
Said
that.
so far so good, but I'm also wondering if what was the fellow's name that's on the Pathfinder? If I suggest if he can afford it, if he would order the plans from Brodak, he have them he could order a laser cut set of ribs makes it build a scratch building go a lot faster.
Good idea. Yeah. Hey, Caffeine's in the house. Thank you, Caffeine.
Hi,
Hi
How you
there.
doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Very
well.
Good.
Good, good.
How's your ARF coming along?
It's getting together. It's I didn't finish last week, so this week will be done.
Excellent. Are you still flying regularly?
No, because I don't have any airplane, so yeah, I need to finish this one first to get
Oh,
back to the
you're
flow.
really motivated then.
Yeah.
You're probably coming down with a severe case of circulitis.
Uh-huh.
Hey, our monthly, our cover boy is here.
Yeah, Tom is here. Tom's in the
Yeah, Tom.
house. He's on the calendar that Gary Sinclair does. And we're wonderful and calendar that he does.
Hi guys,
I lost
can
it.
you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you
Yeah, we
fine.
hear you.
I can probably show a bigger picture. Let me I have an image, a PDF on my desktop. Let me get there real quick and I'll bring up a little bit better picture. Just hang on one quick second. And let me get rid of this. Don't need that. And calendar.
Well, there's Gary.
Yeah, here we go. All right, let me pull this up.
There's Tom. Yeah. Wonder where you been, Tom.
According to his shirt, he's still playing. Doesn't say what he's still playing. Oh, still playing with airplanes. All right.
I love that. Yeah, still playing with airplanes.
I'm wondering what Caffeine was showing us there on his phone.
This is the progress of my effector.
Oh, very good.
Very
Excellent.
good.
Very nice. So
Very good.
are those weights on the back of the on the back? You have weights on it to hold it in place? Is that what you got
Yeah,
there?
yeah. It's Gorilla Glue, just to give enough pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah.
I've made some weights out of Ziploc bags with sand, you know.
Yeah. Huh?
That way it conforms the shape of the wing or whatever I'm trying to weigh down.
Yep.
The sand will fill an empty void and it's a real nice weight.
Oh, that's a good idea. I
Yeah,
never
that's a-
thought of that.
Yeah, me either. That's yes.
I have a few good ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've expended all of them yet, but I tried.
And
I
you
don't
say
know if
some of them are
I don't know
model
if I want to
airplanes?
explain to my grandkids what happened to their sandbox, though.
I
We're
know.
still a cat.
Yes. I can share a screen of Tom a little bit better. Let me share this. Here we go. Whoops. Hang on. Okay. Let me get rid of this. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see that?
Now we can.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
I can make it a little bit bigger, maybe. Oh, no, it's not bigger. It's smaller. Let's see here. But the idea is, there's Tom.
Is that a modern kit or ARF, Tom?
This is from the kit, the Vico kit,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
and it's an old plane that I've had for a long time, but I did recover it a few years ago, a couple years ago.
See, the reason I asked that, I saw the upright engine in most of the older ones. They converted it to the inverted engine. And so I was curious because I know the Brodak one is an upright engine. So that's why my question.
well,
Yeah,
John, it's the original, the first generation smoothie from Vico was an upright engine too, and I think the
Yeah.
inverted one was a second gen.
Well, and that's the reason why I was asking the question, because That is an old kit if it's the
That's a
original
very old,
upright
that's
engine.
like a
That's
60
really
or
old.
70-year-old kit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
mine. Mine was an upright engine. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
One of the
All
reasons,
right, I'll stop sharing then. All right, so.
And
we're
I've
back.
got my son-in-law John here with me tonight, but
Hey,
we're
John,
gonna have
welcome
to
to the
leave.
show.
We're gonna have to leave kind of early, but I just thought I heard you guys talking about my smoothie, so I
Yeah.
popped in quick.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's, the turn of the month here, and you're our new star here for the next, about 27 days or so, but,
Yeah, very good. So Caffeine, get your picture in of a plane and maybe you can have it in the calendar for next year. Or Gordon, or Mark Wise,
Mhm.
Brendan.
Art.
Brendan, did you get a calendar this year? Did you get a month this year or
I
not?
did, no, did not.
Yeah.
How
Try
do
to.
how do we get those?
Wait, Gary. Take the show away, Gary.
Well, I got on here, a couple of years ago, and I thought I did at work, and I thought I'll make a little calendar for the guys on the show here. So I just
Oh.
started making it, and it sent me the pictures. And I put them together and
Well, that's awesome.
send them out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really neat too. And he's done it like 3 years in a row at least.
I think Rusty was he was at
Mhm.
KMC then, back in them days when I started. Yeah.
Yes, that was at least 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you want, I believe I have Gary's contact information. Unless you want to just go and type it in, Gary, if you have at your keyboard, you can send Mark a private message, and also to Caffeine in our chat, not the chat that's on YouTube, but our personal chat. You can send them your contact information where they know to forward the pictures to.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I know I've got Sparky's new plane. I got to see him, the Rodax, so got its photograph with Sparky. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, hopefully I'll have another plane next year. Hopefully I have Precious Balsa done by then, so you can have that.
Also, it's getting so precious, you may never be able to finish it.
That's all right.
That's so funny.
That's all right.
Hey,
The
Charles.
price of gas, you can't afford to burn it either, so.
Yeah.
Yes, Mark.
I wanted to suggest something to everybody. With the price of wood these days, I'm buying up a lot of toothpicks and selling them on the street.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's for Pampa. I'll donate the money.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah.
We're gonna sign off. We just thought we'd pop in for a little
All
bit
right.
here.
Well, thank you for doing that, Tom. I appreciate it.
Always good to see you,
I already
Tom.
sent you a like, Charles.
Oh, thank you. So you're a VIP coming in here. Thank you very much.
We'll listen in on YouTube.
All right.
Very good.
See you guys.
See you later, Tom. Nice to meet you.
See ya.
nice to meet you.
So I have a question here from Caffeine. He says, I believe the inboard and outboard stab must be equal in length, but I think I missed that. So the outboard is longer by 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch to 5 millimeters to 1/5 of an inch. Is that going to be a big problem?
I doubt it. Shouldn't be any
No.
kind of problem.
Okay.
No, I don't think, I'd be very, very surprised if you could find anything from that, so.
So I wonder, I know we are aiming for precision when it comes to assembling it or building
Of
it.
course, yes.
So why is the tolerance, like the difference is 1 millimeter or 1/8 of an inch a big problem? if it has some difference?
I think certain tolerances when you miss in certain ways have bigger impacts than others do.
Okay.
For
Uh-huh.
example, if you were to take that 1 millimeter and if you put it under the leading edge of the stabilizer, so it was climbing or something like that, that's a big impact. If you put that on the span, really doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't have a strong effect. Now, looking straight ahead at the airplane, if the wing is level, and if the tail is, really off one way or the other, that can get you,
Okay.
And looking at it the other way in the top view, I don't know. It looks funny if it isn't straight, but I guess I don't even know how much tolerance there would be on that. Gordy or John or somebody, you got any feedback for that?
Well, on the Pathfinder, I know John was deliberately gluing it in slightly crooked. When you take off, the prop blaster twisted the stab straight. It was in flight.
Yeah.
That was in the front view then.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not a profile.
Yeah.
The fact that it twists the fuselage, even though we try to make them stiff.
Yeah, the inboard part of the stab wants to rise when the airplane's in the air, because if your propeller is turning,
prop blast
creates a kind of a tornado. And when that hits the underside of the left stab, it's going to make it want to go up.
Okay.
Now,
thank you.
on the other side of that, when you're looking down at the top, if the trailing edge of the wing is not parallel with the trailing edge of the stabilizer, let's say the left tip of the stabilizer is head, just go for an inch, okay, to make it easy. What that's going to do when you pull up, it's going to want to turn the airplane in toward you. Okay, and if it's the other way, it'll want to turn it out. So you want to have the trailing edges or your hinge lines completely parallel.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Luckily the step is flat. It doesn't have any angle, but it's just the span.
Yeah, that's just, taking your time to do that correctly before you glue. So correctly. When you put it, make sure it's correctly, it's done right.
Yep.
Once it's glued, then it's kind of a hassle, especially if you're using CMU or epoxy or something like that. Sometimes if you're using acetate glue, you can actually glue that, but yeah, alignment is pretty critical. It's just like a real airplane. Alignment.
They are real airplanes.
Yeah, they are real airplanes. That's right.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. I hear that, Gordon.
Yeah.
No toy airplanes here.
That's right.
They're just small.
Yeah, Charles, when I worked out at the airport, I was there as a mechanic, and they'd have something broke down somewhere. They'd say, well, take this airplane and fly out and fix it. And I said, well, I'm not checked out in it. They say, well, read the manual before you leave. And I bought an airplane. I got 20-something hours in a Narrow Commander, 20 hours in a Bonanza, and a lot of the Cessnas, the 150, 172, 175, 182, the 206. So I felt very fortunate to work at the airport because I didn't have to pay for the gas.
I bet. Wow, that's a great opportunity to fly those different kind of airplanes.
It was. I
Wow.
really enjoyed that part.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I soloed 9 airplanes before I got my license. Really, well, because it took me so long. Moving and all that stuff. I went through the service, but I have about 25 hours or 20. 25 years, I should say, flying a 59 Cessna Skyline. And it was a Razorback with a straight tail, not the swept tail. I flew it 10 years before I bought it. When I bought it, we rehabbed the airplane. I flew it for another 15. And one of the best airplanes I've ever flown. Not being prejudiced, it's just a good airplane.
He's prejudiced.
Okay.
If I could bring to you, Mark and Caffeine and anyone else interested in here for the calendar, Gary put in the chat, our chat, not the chats on YouTube, his address that you would want to forward a picture.
Thank you.
You also take PDFs or you take
Yeah.
pictures digitally too, right, Gary?
Yeah, you can. So when you send it, though, write what your copy, like on the word processor that you're using, Microsoft Word or whatever, and actually type in the copy that you'd like to have on it and tell me about it and stuff too. That helps.
Well, when I get the Too Much rebuilt, we're doing that now. I'll get a picture of that out.
That'd be great. Now, the Too Much that's out your house, Bart, is that the one you're working on, or are you working on another one?
No, I'm working on my Too Much.
Well, I saw Too Much at your house.
That was it.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you drove that all the way up to Utah from Arizona.
Well, he gave me a Tempest years ago and I never finished it and he wanted it back. And I says, you made me a promise to finish that twin. So if you want your Tempest back, you got to finish the twin.
Very
So
good.
He's been sanding diligently now for several days.
Very good.
I have to drive with my left hand. My right arm's about shot now. So I've been down there basically 2 days sanding, just on the way. And a lot of work, but it's gonna be nice when it's finished.
That's 960 square inches of sanding.
Yeah,
Top.
that's a lot of sanding. Oh my goodness.
So you're talking almost 1,900 and something square inches to sand.
Wow, that is a lot. That's
Talk about precious balsa.
I guess.
no kidding, it's on the floor. But having the camaraderie of fellowship of being next to, being with someone working on a plane, that's something that's I've never had that experience. I know Bob Hunt has invited other people to come to his place and they will build a plane. And Wendy Unowski used to do that too. That is such a neat thing.
Yeah, it really is.
Wendy did a lot for the modeling and sharing his painting skills and building skills.
Yeah, he did.
And I can't remember who it was, told me that he went into his house and there wasn't a trophy, an airplane, or anything in the whole house. He's like he'd never been in modeling. I guess
Wow.
the attic and went back into motorcycles.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm kind of a tunnel vision person myself. Yeah, I kind of get focused, and that's all I see. That's all I do.
A couple days ago, I saw a new video from Wendy, and here when I hit the like button, that was the first one to see it. I think.
Well,
Was it model aviation or was it motorcycles?
No, it's airplanes. I mean, yeah.
I've been watching his videos now for about a month.
Yeah.
They're probably old videos, but I see them on YouTube, so I just click on them, let them run.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But they might be from. There's a guy, Walt Burnell, who's he has a lot of Wendy videos. It might be the Walt Burnell channel.
I'll tell you one thing
I guess that channel.
Wendy did for me. I had back surgery, so I couldn't go to the Nats. And he boxed up all his videos and mailed them to me and said, enjoy
Wow.
That's nice.
videos.
Gordon,
Hours.
Gordon,
Yes, sir.
tell him about what you did to Wendy at the 95 Nats.
Oh, that wasn't very funny. Well, it was kind of funny.
Huh.
Bill Biles and Wendy happened to be dressed identical, and I know Bill Biles very well. And I'd never met Wendy, and I saw just the back of him going in an outhouse. So I went to start my van up, and my wife says, "Don't you dare do that." I was going to pull my van against the door. So I jumped out and went over, gently leaned against it so he couldn't tell somebody was on there. And he tried to come out, and pretty soon he's banging and pushing, and finally says, "Hey, what's going on out there?" Oh, that sounds like Bill. I backed away and the door opens and, "Hi, Wendy, I'm Gordon Delaney." A little embarrassing for me.
Yes. Oh man,
He was a good sport.
that's cool.
Gordon and I have had the privilege of flying Wendy's twins. He flew the Hellcat and I flew the Tiger Cat, and I flew the B-25. And
I saw the video of Gordon flying Wendy's Tiger Cat today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah. It's on that Walt Burnell channel, and I was watching it, and he flew it really good.
Oh, is that twin?
Yeah.
It's his black twin. He did like 3 twins.
Oh, this one here, they kept flying it. Everyone wanted to fly it. This guy fly it, and the other guy fly it.
Well, he
Yeah.
let everybody fly it. And when he offered it to me, I says, "You'd let me fly that?" And he says, "Why not? You probably have more stick time in the twin than anybody on the planet." And I said, "Well, that might be true." So I flew it, and it flew awesome. The thing I liked, it didn't pull as hard as mine, which made it easier to fly.
oh yeah. Well, the
And
B-25 was the same way, and I flew it twice at the Nationals, and well, it turned good and it grooved in level flight. Just didn't do anything wrong. Really flew
Yeah.
well.
I love twins. I've flown a twin, and I just love the feeling of the prop blast over the wing. You just can't get that with a single engine.
Yeah, it's tough.
yeah, Pat Fancher flew my profile, the first twin profile with the 15s on it. And he's making comment. He says, "There's no way you'd try to fly that size of an airplane with a 30." When I was running 215s. And so
Yeah.
9-inch props. Well, I had them cut down to 8 3/4. And when you figure the disc area, that's a lot of air going over your wings. And the big twin, you got 10-inch diameter props. So on the Tiger Cat, Wendy had 3 blades on that. I don't know what the diameter was, but I really liked the way it flew. I thought about calling him up and seeing if he'd like to donate it to somebody in Utah.
Got to come through Tucson first.
No, you don't. So what are you flying, Charles?
Right now, I'm flying an electric SV11, and I'm actually loving it. I just can't tell you how I love the way this plane flies. I don't think it's so much the electric as much as I like how this plane flies. I have access to the push rod from the bell crank to the flap. I have a left and right hand ends on it, so I can adjust that distance. And I got it so the plane turns exactly the same either direction. A lot of my planes have had a tendency to turn quicker on outsides. And traditionally, people would tell me to adjust the push rod between the flap and the elevator. That never got satisfactory results trimming it out that way. And my last 2 planes, my red Strega, I modified it so I could adjust the push rod from the bell crank to the flap. And again with this plane, actually 3 planes. I had a Vector 40 that I modified, and the Strega, and the SV11. But the SV11 is 66 ounces. I've been flying 80-ounce planes.
Oh, wow.
So I really, but I do like the electric. The electric is, I go out with 4 batteries that are charged, and I start going through the batteries, and I put the one exhausted battery, I go and charge it with my car. And then by the time I get through the other 3 batteries, that battery's ready. So it's enables me to fly quite a bit. It's the same flight every time. So it's been really good. I'm looking forward, and getting ready for the Palmer Joust in August, and then the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge. So I'm looking forward to show up with a plane that might fly better than me for a change.
Yeah, I used to go to the Whittier Sepulveda basins about twice a year. And the last 4 or 5 years, I just run out of gas. And didn't you tell me or say something here maybe a month ago about having some K-77s?
Yes, I have a couple K-77s, and I like that motor. I like the Stalker actually better than the K-77. The Stalker 81 rear exhaust, I like it better than the K-77, but the K-77 I can run on a tuned pipe. So I have a K-77 on an impact, and that was pretty nice. And I have another K-77 in another white Strega that has the carbon fiber muffler, that bigger muffler, the bigger volume muffler, and that is a really sweet setup. So if anybody out there has one of those carbon fiber mufflers or a K-77, let me know. I actually wouldn't mind getting another one of those.
The reason I was asking, I wanted to buy one of yours.
Yeah.
Does it have as much power as the 81?
It runs at a higher RPM. It's just a different characteristic. It just runs different. It's kind of hard for me to. And I mean, they seem pretty close because both my Stregas, one had a Stalker 81, which is around 80 ounces, which is I call my red Strega, and then my white Strega had a K-77 with the muffler, and that also is about 80 ounce plane. They both felt very, very similar.
What about the weight on them? Were they about the same?
No, the K-77 is almost an ounce lighter.
Really?
It's lighter. I don't remember if it's an ounce, but it's a lighter plane. I mean, it's a lighter engine, excuse me.
Yeah, I like the 81 when I put it in my Tony. I just have a big enough gas tank to fly it down on the coast.
Are you using nitro in your 81?
Yeah, I was running 10%.
Oh, I was using zero nitro.
I tell you, they really rumble with 10%.
Gordy lives way up high.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm at 700 feet above sea level.
Yeah, we're at our flying site's about 4,400 feet. It's about
Yeah,
the same. But the needle settings, you set it here, it's probably going to be dead on the coast. Very seldom did I have to mess with the needle valve.
Okay.
It's kind of nice.
So how many head shims did you have in your motor, probably your Stalker 81?
One
Just one head shim?
head shim.
Wow, I thought to run nitro you had to add head shims, I thought.
Well, that's what they say, but I didn't do it. The engine was actually John Miller's.
Oh, okay.
And when I took it out, he repossessed it.
Yeah, they're both very good motors. I think like John, John likes electric and he likes his Stalkers. I'm kind of in the same camp. I love the K-77 too. I mean, my precious balsa is actually going to have a K-77 on a tuned pipe. So I wouldn't put all the time and energy in building a plane if I didn't like the motor.
Well, with the later,
Charles, pardon my ignorance. Is that a Casminato motor?
The K-77 is a Casminato motor.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I tried to call him last week, but his phone number had changed. I had a package there that had it on one of his handles, and the number had been disconnected. So he probably has a new number now. Oh,
wow. Well, try to email him. I've had good luck emailing Casminato.
Yeah. I met Kaz down in Whittier Narrows, and he was flying his Blue Max, and I asked him to pick it up, and he was working here, and he looked at Bob Whiteley and like, is it okay to let him pick my airplane up? Whiteley says, oh, he's okay. He's good. And picked it up, and he's showing me how you take it all apart. It was all take apart. And the workmanship was incredible. And I don't remember what motor he had in it. Probably back then, I don't know if they made PAs back then. Yeah, I don't know what motor he had in it. So anyway, if you decide you can't handle all that nitro on the K motors, and decide you'd like to let one go, let me know.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. If I hear of someone who has 2 motors for sale, I'll let you know. I'll take one of them.
All right. Okay. You're first after me, right?
Yes.
Or vice versa. How did I say that?
No, that's right. I'd grab mine first, and I'll let you know about it.
There you go.
We know what you thought.
Yeah, I've been riding Bart to get down there in sand. If I leave the room, he leaves the room. If I come back, he'll come back.
Okay. Yeah.
I gotta make sure he suffers along with me.
Yeah.
I'm building it quicker on the old Riley Wooten days. I used to fly those back in the late 50s and early 60s.
It's turning out to be slower.
Yeah, I don't remember it being this hard to build, but I'm scratch building it. And I just slowed down, I guess, after almost 80 years. Anyway, I don't want to take up anybody's time.
Oh no, don't feel that way at all. We enjoy your new voice, so it's refreshing. We've heard each other talk about the same stuff over and over again, so it's not boring at all. Thank you very much, Gordon. Don't stop.
Thank you. I was going to bring up my Tony and show you guys, a close up. I know that they saw Brent Williams kind of panned my shop.
Yes.
And
That was a neat show. I was really excited. That was a great show.
Yeah,
Yes, it was.
the one where I have all the airplanes stored. Above the door, it says hangar. My wife found this board that had hangar engraved in it.
Uh-huh.
That's above the door. And then where I build, she tells everybody I'm in the surgical suite.
Very nice. Very cool.
It's a dungeon.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah, Bart's not working at that low altitude. Actually, it's high for him, but when he has to walk downstairs into the cold, he says, oh, it's so cold down here, I'm getting frostbite.
Oh, yeah. He's from Arizona. That's quite a change.
Cold. I used to wear a jacket in the shop.
He does.
Yeah, when you get used to it, you get used to the cold, and you don't need a jacket. But yeah, when you're from Phoenix, Arizona, where it's pretty hot, or even like myself, Escondido, California, it's pretty hot. I'd probably be wearing a lot of extra clothing to work in your shop as well.
Yeah,
And a hat to cover my whole head.
you wear a parka and your mucklocks. You go down there.
Have you ever seen anybody sand with their gloves on? With their gloves and a hat and a coat. And I'm down there in my t-shirt.
Yes.
I finally turned on 2 heaters for him. Heat up the room. And he was happy with that.
Yeah, brought it all the way up to 40.
Wow.
Just can't believe people sometimes.
Well, I'd like to see you work in Bart's shop in the summer in Phoenix. That could we could just kind of switch things around.
Every time I go down there, I'm working on something in his shop.
He stays about 5 minutes. It says it's too hot, and he leaves.
So what's with Howard's phone keeps blinking up there?
He's laughing.
Yeah, I was.
Like there, it doesn't show Howard. It just says Howard's iPhone. Oh,
Here I
there
am.
he
There he is.
There he is.
You out there flying there, Howard?
That was a yes, Gordon.
Yeah, I'm fixing to fly a little stunt.
He's gonna do a little stunt, flying stunt. He's probably kind of far from his router or something,
Oh,
so the bandwidth is not very good.
I thought maybe he's out there mowing. I hope he's got a riding lawnmower. Boy, that would kill me to try to mow that by hand.
Yeah, that would definitely. You only do that only a couple of times before you break down and buy something to ride.
I'd probably make it about 30 feet.
Gordon's got a riding lawnmower. It's got a small block, solid lifters, and a cam.
And a wheelie bar.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, Charles, I don't know if you knew it. I used to drag race too.
Wow.
It's really hard to go drag racing and come back and build models and then go out and work on your car for the next race. And both of them end up suffering.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
guy I don't fly with often, but his name is Rich Ambler, and he actually builds motors for people, for I think drag racers.
Yeah, I just sold a 55 about 4 or 5 years ago, and the small block was just over 600 horsepower. I
Wow.
worked at a race shop, and all we did is build racing heads. And the heads on this was a street car, put out more horsepower than my race car
Wow.
because of the technology on the heads. So
Right.
it was kind of
It was FAST.
Mm-hmm.
was. Had a 5-speed manual, Ford rear end in it.
Hey, did anybody see the thread on Stunthangar forum today? I saw it about what they thought. I think the question was, what is the best new design of the last 5 years? Anybody? I think
Oh, boy.
of course, Bob Hunt's second win was suggested, and you guys have any idea what would be your guys' pick as far as the best
Well-
design of the last 5 years?
Is that Bobby Hunt's twin?
Yeah, second win.
Yeah. Wonderful airplane. That would be my number one pick.
There's not that many new designs been turned out in the last 5 years. I'd have to agree with Gordy on Bob Hunt's twin.
I got a question for you, John.
I didn't do it.
Underneath the tail of the Pathfinder, looks like a free flight wing or something behind you.
This thing here,
No, behind it, the yellow, whatever that's yellow.
Oh, it's an airplane. He's
oh,
trying-
this,
yeah, right
Yeah.
there.
that's a Torino.
Yeah, Jack,
Oh, okay.
Jack Sheets.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You bet.
And the green and yellow one, that's your bike?
Yeah, it's way back there. The wings for the Viper over here off the camera.
There goes Howard.
Yeah.
That is amazing that he can fly this time of the night.
Yeah, it is.
Well, you know, far enough in the northern latitudes that their light stays longer. That's why.
I know you told me that. I understand. I'm just still amazed to have that much. Plus, when you have to go out flying in your backyard too, that's something else. That's another thing to try to get to that point in life where you have your own flying field in your backyard.
Yeah, that was one of my dreams, to have my own flying site.
You said you have your own flying site, Gordon, or you'd like to have your own flying site?
I say that was one of my dreams to have one.
Yeah.
You almost did.
Well, as close as we only have to go about 2 blocks to the plant.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, I can get to my flying site in less than 10 minutes. So
10 minutes.
10 minutes, I can get there.
Yeah,
Now setting up is another story. It's not like, see, he didn't, I have to set up, put cones all the way around and set up. Unlike Gordon, I mean, unlike Howard, he probably has a stooge there. He just sets his plane down and starts flying, you know?
Yeah.
But,
I'm 5 minutes from Tucson.
oh, that's right. I've been there. Your house is very close to the, to your flying field too. So how often have you been flying? Every week, Bart?
I haven't been.
I'm gonna mute Howard because his for some reason it's loud.
Anyway, I've been going out about twice a week just for 5 or 6 flights.
Oh, that's good.
Not enough. I need about 50 more with a trimmed airplane.
Well, his Pathfinder, I made him bring that back up here with him, and we kept looking at it, and I said, Bart, that elevator looks mighty small. And so I measured it, and we had to glue on 5/8 of an inch tapered to the inside. And he said that helped fly better. I don't know, he must have looked at the wrong line on the ruler.
Yeah, one of the guys up here chopped his elevator down and, cord-wise. And when I built mine, I think I got the wrong dimension. Like,
It's like Rogers.
Like Rogers, and it's flying a lot better. As far as chopping any original design, I'm still out on that. Those flew excellent. But anyway, yeah, we trying to get it balanced and retrimmed and so on and so forth, so I can go home and get some practice. I didn't fly for quite a while, and I kind of lost my handle, so to speak. Lost the feel, and my body movements and correct moves with my hand and all that. So it's coming back, but it's going to take a while. And I'm a little older, so I can't bend over. I can't look straight up. It's really hard to do. So I'm going to go to the gym and start using the back machine and, get myself in physical shape a little better. My legs are weak. That's one thing that a lot of people don't understand, especially bowlers. When they haven't bowled a while, they're not bowling well, their legs are weak. And it's the same with stunt. If you got weak legs, it's going to be hard to fly right.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I think that could be an advantage. I've been taking more seriously my physical stamina and health and fitness. I'm not where I want to be physically either, but I definitely think it could be an advantage to be in shape.
Helps a lot.
Charles, you are sounding better.
I'm sounding better. Thank you. I would keep.
You're definitely sounding better than you did Friday. So
that's good. Yeah, I'm hoping ready to kick this thing's butt and get back to living again.
I'll tell you what happened to me when I went into service. I went through basic training, and all you do is double time. You don't really do a lot of, you do physical hard things, but nothing for dexterity and all of that. When I came home I was stationed at West Point. So before I went there, I flew, and I couldn't fly at all. It really scared me. So anyway, then I was stationed at West Point for 3.5 months. So we got to use the cadets gym a couple nights a week. We did a lot of handball and stuff like that. Came home and just like I never left. So the right conditioning means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think we have to stay in shape, and then I don't think it's not. I don't know if it's I just think that the whole presentation, including you personally and the plane, all that, it's all a presentation.
It helps, yeah, sure does.
I think if a person looks and they walk, in a way that they're fit, all that just creates an image, a presentation that might lend a person to maybe a few more points. You know.
Like if I get use this back machine, what it is, it's a machine you sit in and you lean forward, and when you push the back, you're lifting weights. You go all the way back until you're almost arcing your back. And enough of that will strengthen your back. And then, you know, being my age, it's really hard to look vertical anyway, just physically. So by strengthening my legs, I can arc a little more and then use my legs to look, you know, brace myself better. And it's going to be easier. And so it all helps. It all helps.
Yeah. I love this hobby. I really think it's good for us. I mean, just think about all the mental decisions we make, even doing the pattern. I think it helps our brain stay fit. And you know, because I've had people tell me that you don't act like your age. You don't act like you're 64 years old.
How about
And I go, I fly model airplanes.
about 79?
Yes. Yeah, you don't look like a 79-year-old either. You don't sound like one.
Well,
And
when I fly, Brent Wing comes out, and when I do wing overs, he puts his hand on my back or grabs some belt so I can be stable. There's been times I try to do the reverse wing over and I end up on my back. So I got neuropathy in my feet. And when you take your eyes off the ground and look up, you don't have any sense of feel to keep your balance.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky I don't have that. I just can't physically look straight up. Got to lean back, put one of my feet back to brace me. And if your legs are weak, you know, it's hard to do.
yeah, it's I think that's why I value my time flying these model airplanes. I think it helps me stay mentally and physically fit.
It helps a lot.
Yeah, I think it's a great exercise for us to do. Howard, you're back, Howard.
I'm back. Gordy, did you see my kill loop?
No, he went by so fast we couldn't see it.
Yeah, we lost you for some reason. I don't know what happened, but you actually disappeared, Howard.
Yeah, well, I disappear from time to time. that was I did a kill loop with an electric.
Oh, really?
Very cool.
Oh,
yeah, you
yeah.
had that tut thing.
Yeah.
Off again there, Howard.
Oh. Hi, Bart.
How you doing, Howard?
Okay.
Good. I'm here. I'm just out of the picture.
So are you going back to the Nats?
Yep.
Good.
You know, the hotel motel's still here.
Oh, thank you. Sounds like it's full though.
Oh no, we got another room now that Cassidy moved out.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, down in Tucson, we have a real no-tell motel.
I can vouch for that. It's awesome.
Why, did you stay there?
Did I stay at your place? You talking about your place, right, Bart?
No, that's not that. We have a real no-tell motel in Tucson.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about your place.
You wouldn't want to stay there.
Okay.
yeah, my
Well,
friend,
then I haven't been there. I've just been to your place.
a friend of mine, he's passed away now, Jim Womack. He was my combat bud. And he stayed there, and he was there for about an hour and turned around and left and went and found another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to stay there.
It's a place that charges by the hour, that kind of place?
No,
Yeah, the girls do too.
Okay. Okay, that's what I figured.
he wasn't there for the girls.
Anyways, what was I gonna say? What about now I was talking about the new designs. Is the T-Rex an old design or a new design?
20 years old,
How old is it?
about 20.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that was more modern, because I read the article that Mr. Walker wrote about it, and he had talked about it hadn't been a design of late, and he decided to design the T-Rex. And so I just thought the article, what he was saying, I didn't realize the article was that old.
Yeah.
Well, the article may not be that old. But he sent me
Yeah,
plans of it.
Brad Walker.
You sent me plans of it to look at years and years and years ago.
Brent Williams' brother Curtis. Do you remember Curtis, John?
Yeah.
I helped him build a T-Rex over here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and he's never flown it.
Really?
Oh, is it too beautiful? Is that why?
No, it's not that. It was a what? Almost ready to build, or whatever
Yeah,
they
it was
call it. An ARF.
It's all covered clear.
It's all clear covering.
Clear cover.
It looks like it would fly well, but
They flew well, but it had some weaknesses, Gordy. The nose just kept falling off.
well, that's because they didn't put plywood doublers in there or something.
Something.
If they got plywood doublers, the nose is gonna fall off. Oh, and he's using a radial mount too. And the way he beefed that up, I told him he had to put some wood in there, and boy, did he ever. 1/2 inch glued all the way down the plywood doublers, and then his radial mount. I mean, the nose was really solid on it. And we just can't get him to come out. You know, he'll come out and watch, but he won't bring the airplane out. We'll have to get after him.
You know, one thing I bought off of eBay years ago is from my Super Tiger 46 and from my Super Tiger 60, I have a rear cover plate that makes the mount like a radial mount. It's like an aluminum. Are those? Have you ever tried those before?
I haven't. I think it's a great idea. I don't know if you could save weight that way or not.
Don Hutchinson of Texas now, he, of course, he's retired from the hobby, but he did a radial mount on a lot of these motors.
There's that handsome brute Howard.
Yeah.
Nice blue sky. We've had wind here up to 40 to 50 miles an hour for the last week.
Okay.
Wow. It's been blowing in the wrong direction here, but it's good now. So I'm out flying stunt.
Yeah, might as well take advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fly stunt. Absolutely.
All right.
When I was stationed at West Point, 1958, I took my Tempest and designed an 8-inch model. And I think I'm going to, or I've got another one that would be for the 70s, which was my own airplane. It was a little heavy, but if I can build one lighter, I think it'll fly well.
He's got one hanging on the wall for 40 years. The Sato 7. Howard, that looks nice.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
You got a nice place to fly. This is a little closer to home than yours. You got to go a block to get to yours.
Yeah. So what is that, a walkway or is that your runway? I can see around going around the grass. Is that your takeoff pad?
Ain't no takeoff pad. There's a stooge out there.
You know, Gordy does the best thing for Gordy is he doesn't have to mow that grass.
Yeah, somebody else does it. Uh-oh, wind's gone dead. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't. Once in a great while, we'll get to ROG, but most of the time we have to hand launch because the grass is never short enough.
Yeah.
We try to find dead spots so we can ROG.
So you hand launch your stunt ships, Gordon?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You know, we launched the Twin, the Tony. Well, the Tony, that might be an exception because it only rolls about 2 or 3 inches and it'll come airborne. You know, it's got such a massive prop on there. But every one of my stunt ships, we have to hand launch.
Wow.
And just about all of us, everybody flying around here, we hand launch.
Yeah.
Some guys don't hand launch very good, so you got to be careful who you choose.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I'd be very nervous about having. I don't mind someone launching a combat plane, but launching a stunt ship, I just can't imagine.
Yeah, years ago up at the Northwest Regionals, I'd let Jim fly my profile Skylark, and it had around 2,000 flights on it. And I was sitting there talking with Paul and all the top dogs there, and Jim does the wing over and pulls out inverted, and the motor quit.
Oh,
We're on asphalt. I scuttled the motor quit. Oh hell, that's my airplane.
oh no.
And I jumped up, went out and yelled at the judges. I was going to catch the airplane, and he whipped it around, and I reached up and snatched it out of the air and never had a scratch on it.
Wow.
Yeah, the judges, God, we've never seen that before. And I says, come over to the combat circle. We do it all the time.
Yeah. You don't catch the airplane, you get the lines.
I try to catch it at your lead outs and then as close to the fuselage and wing, and I don't just stop when I grab it. I turn in a circle to help bleed off that speed. You know, if you just stand there and hold it, it's going to shatter the wing probably.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'd grab and just crush the leading edge of the wing.
Yep. So if you just open your hand and let it come into your hand, you just pivot with it and never get a scratch on it.
That's impressive. I'd like to see that.
Well, I could do a demo if you'd like sometime. I don't know
Yeah.
if I could.
Just bring an airplane.
Problem catching somebody's stunt ship. Ted Fancher had a bumblebee going as Venturi and shut him off inverted. And I told him I'd catch it. And he says, no, I'll land it. And he goes over, he goes in a ditch and broke the fuselage and did some pretty good damage. He was like,
Well, there was a pile of concrete blocks in there.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020. Probably regretted not letting you catch it.
well, he probably had never seen it before, you know.
Yes, yeah.
I'm talking a 60-inch, 60 to 65 ounce stunt ship. You know, and you got to be careful when you grab them that you do it right.
Wow, that's amazing. I would love to see an image, a video of that.
You know what? You know what you would have liked to have seen, Charles? At the 95 Nats, it was really windy, and he was flying his newer twin, the big one. What do you call it? The Gemini twin. And beautiful airplane, big though, looked like a surfboard when going over the air when it did the.
Oh wow!
It was, but it flew really well. And I don't know if he got frustrated or what with the wind, but he lost one engine, then you lost the other. And so he's out there wind flying thing, doing square loops, even did the square 8 with that thing in the wind flying it. Somebody in the crowd yelled out, it's gotta be a combat flyer.
Yeah. Wow. Or someone from Wichita, Kansas.
You got that right, Charles. A funny real quick one is I told my wife about Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan and I became friends from the combat days. Well, after I flew that flight that John's talking about, we were all standing in a circle talking, and Dirty Dan was there, and my wife was there, and he walked up behind her and grabbed her. And he wouldn't see who was, and she had never met him. Are we still on?
Yep.
Okay, but anyway, he says, who is it? She sat there a minute and paused, and Dirty Dan. He let her go and turn. How did you know that? You know, because they never met. And he said, yeah, Gordon told me about you. Oh, here we go.
My daughter brought me a s'more, so
Now that's your good daughter, right?
yeah, you notice that?
Where's ours?
They're all good. They're all good.
Oh, yeah, maybe you forgot to push the button.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'll make them big so you can see it better once it gets going.
You know, Charles, if I'd had that and pushed the button, I would have had my hand in the prop.
I know. I know. I know.
I couldn't believe I did that.
I know. It's one of those brain fart moments, you know? It's like,
Oh,
dang.
that's right. You know, the motor was running. I wasn't playing with the needle valve. I just set the starter down, turned around, and stuck my hand right through it. I'm going,
Yeah. Well, right there, the guy next to you, Carl, I don't know if he's next to you, but Carl Reed, he actually had an accident with putting his hand in an APC prop as well.
oh, wow.
Yep, they're very unforgiving.
My words exactly.
You need to move slow.
Yeah, I always approach the plane. I actually want to see the silhouette of the prop moving. If I can't see it, I don't make any advances until I see the silhouette of the prop, and then I move around looking at that silhouette. Yeah.
Takes a wide path around that prop to get to the needle valve.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, the needle valve.
Well, I know, you just charged the airplane. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Brent was gonna faint. Are you online there, Brent?
No, we have Philip Bailey coming in, which is I haven't seen him in a while, and Howard Rush, Caffeine, and Dennis Adamiston, yourself, Carl Reed, John Miller, myself, and Gary Sinclair. There's no Brent Williams.
It's about time that dark enough that they're getting ready to start fireworks around.
It's already going here, John.
Yeah, it's going on here too. Can you hear the fireworks over here? That's good. I'm glad you guys can't hear them.
Well, they're starting them here at 10 o'clock, so that's about a half hour.
Well, they're not waiting until 10 o'clock here. I watched them last night for a little bit off my front porch. I don't know who was doing it, but boy, that's pretty good.
Here's Howard. What happened?
What's going on, Howard?
Nothing. The wind's kind of, well, there it goes. It's kind of dead.
Saw you out there at the handle and walked back in toward the airplane.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, yeah. I don't get a lot of stunt flown, but
Yeah, dead air can be pretty tough.
Howard, do you fly in the morning and then you fly again later on in the evening? Is that what you do?
usually just in the evening because I don't get up in time to fly in the morning. But well, I'm going to try to do better.
You sound like sleep in the morning, stay up all night.
Yeah. In Tucson right now, we're out at the field at 6 and we quit by 9 because it gets too hot.
So is the winter bad there, Howard?
No, it just rains all the time and it's dark.
Rains?
Rains.
Yeah. Well, I wish we had some of it.
Indeed.
Well, I was thinking Philip Bailey's so long to come in. I see him, but hey, Philip, your camera's not on and your mic is muted.
I try flying a little more stunt.
All righty. Yeah, fly some more stunt.
There we go, finally.
Hey,
I don't know
Phil,
what the
how you
heck's going
doing?
on.
Hi, Phil.
Hey, it's been a time getting in tonight.
Well, what's for dinner?
What's everybody been up to? I heard Gordon's on the mend finally. I'm glad to hear that.
I'm trying to make you jealous, Phil. Got my s'more here.
Oh, now you know, I have never had one of those. One of these days I'm gonna do it. I liked what I just saw. Gordon and that strange fella from Tucson.
That's strange.
Strange fella what flies left-handed and very well.
I'm not right. I'm not left-handed is the thing.
You're not left-handed. You don't, and you fly left-handed.
Yeah. And I'm left-handed and I fly right-handed.
Y'all ain't right.
What can you say?
Well, I went to a Catholic school and they wouldn't let you write left-handed.
Oh, Lord.
Time I was in the 5th grade, they quit doing that.
Oh, my goodness.
By then I was messed up.
Pretty weird.
Gordon, let me ask you a question. I meant to ask you last time he's on and I didn't get to talk to you. What happened to, when you showed your planes in the basement, I went back and looked at that. And I looked at all those planes. I didn't see Heinz 57. What happened to it?
Oh, the orange one?
Yeah.
What I'm building.
Do what?
Well, I'm building one right now that is ready for the orange one. I glued the wing in crooked, being stupid.
Oh, okay.
I reverted back to the 40s and 50s when I measured it instead of setting up like I normally do. And I don't know why I did that. But it wanted to come and visit me when you got above 45 degrees.
Oh, okay. I know you had it at the Nationals. I saw it when I saw I can't remember the name of that huge airplane, the 4-stroke and that absolutely gorgeous Colossus. But
that had a Tiger 51.
Wow. Well, my Colossus, I think, is going to have a Tiger 6, as not a Tiger, a double star 61 rear exhaust in it. Everybody keeps telling me, make it electric, but I just can't bring myself to fly electric in a classic event. I just don't think that's right. It's like putting electric in an old timer. I mean, I know it'd be a performance advantage, and I know Denny does it with great success, but maybe next year, but this year it's probably going to be a fuelie. It's going to be a slimer, as Mike would call it.
Some guys come out and they fly electric old time. You know, they just didn't do that back then. They didn't.
Yeah. I can't get my earplugs to work tonight, but on the other hand, it's not so loud that it's blowing my ears out. So I guess I'll live with it tonight. It's crazy.
Are you building a Colossus now?
Got one about 3/4 built.
I want
to get a picture of yours so I know what to paint it like, because that's one pretty airplane.
I copied Jim Tiki, the designer.
That's what I remember. That's the reason I want a copy of yours. So I picture yours so I can copy it.
I won 22 first places with that.
Wow. Well, you know, I would think that was really impressive, and I do anyway, but I would think that, bye, Matt, you be careful. My grandsons are leaving. I would think that was very impressive, Gordon, except I've seen you fly. And you fly that well. Michael, take care, precious. Be careful. My little grandson. It makes me look like a little guy. But anyway, I'm telling you. I got one that's 26 and one that's 18 and one that's 6.
Oh wow.
I'm telling you, these kids are worrying me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a granddaughter who's 25 and she don't worry me as bad as her boyfriend does.
Believe it or
But
not,
anyway,
I have a daughter that's 23.
yeah, I don't envy you, brother. Tell you what, that was some hard years for me.
Ooh, that's nice.
Wow.
I still got 2 more to go.
I know it's the angle. I didn't like that third turn of the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, third turn of the square loops, outside loops, but I know it's the camera angle because I've seen him fly up close and he don't make that mistake. Boy, those are pretty. That is pretty.
Yeah, I've known Howard since combat days.
Wow.
Wow.
And here,
I think that's the hardest thing about judging is you've got to understand that you've got to be at the right angle to see it, or
yes,
you can't judge it.
that's right. That still looked pretty good to me.
That looked good there. But that guy flying, he's flown once or twice. He's pretty good.
Yep.
Finally got out of the fire baby, huh?
Well, that was,
Michael.
See, from this angle, every time he pulls up outside, it looks like he goes too far.
right.
You just can't judge it from here. But anyway, the only thing wrong with that is the sound. There's just none there. Electrics just don't make the noise. Oh, that was pretty.
Something's not right, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty. That wasn't as good. Dennis and what's the guy from Oklahoma? Dennis, I cannot remember his name.
Joe Gilbert.
Joe Gilbert put up some maneuvers at Brodak this year that just, I've done a lot of judging. I've never given a 39 and I've never given a 40. Dennis got a 39 and I thought I was, am I doing this because he really earned it or because I just like Dennis? And then Joe Gilbert got a 40 out of me. And I'm still trying to figure out what happened. That's never happened before. I told Tom Looper about it. Tom says, from you? I said, yeah, he got it from me. You should have seen that maneuver. I had just looked at the book the night before, read everything to make sure that I remembered everything just right. And Dennis was putting up some pretty flights with that Mo Best, but Joe Gilbert had a Mustang out there that I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the secret is to that airplane because I've got the electric version of it. But man, he was doing some pretty maneuvers. But I think it was the nut at the end of the handle. Because he flew the Cavalier the next day, and I mean that was outstanding too. He was putting up some pretty flights.
He's got that clover down.
Do what?
Yes.
He's got that clover down.
Yeah, he does. Look good. Yeah, that fella right there with just a little bit of practice.
Now there's this kill. I thought he was going to do a kill loop with an electric.
I think that's what that was supposed to be. No,
Yeah,
it is.
what
It
it was.
was. It's coming down.
Yeah, he asked me if I saw that on his last flight.
Yeah, that's why I made him big so you could see it, Gordon.
I tell you what, I think that fella there with a little bit of practice could do pretty good. I'm glad I don't have to fly against him, at least not for a year or two. But any of y'all think I don't pick up any advantage I can wherever I can? I saw the Adamov boys fly, and I decided to go order. I've never used a plastic propeller, and I've never liked master air screw. I don't know what happened in there, but something went wrong. But I saw them flying it, and I was talking to Gabe. I think it was Gabe, might have been Luca. But anyway, he said it's the Nationals. The wind picked the tail of his plane up, and it hit the ground and buzzed the prop. He said he knows all three blades hit, but he said instead of shattering like a carbon fiber would, the plastic just wore down, and he was able to fly his flight. And he said, I never even knew that anything was wrong. He said, I knew the prop hit, but it didn't feel like anything was wrong. So he said at the end of the flight, he checked his prop and he lost 1/4 of an inch of the prop, but it still worked.
Wow.
So he cleaned it up, dressed it up, checked the balance and put it back on the plane. It was still on his plane at Brodak. So I went home and ordered 3 of these buggers, and I'm
let me make you big, Phil, so you can show it. And
you see all the mess in my room right now. I came in with a bunch of junk.
there you go.
But
All
those
right.
master air screws, I got
What
3
size
of
is
these.
that?
Decided I would give them a try. I've never flown a master air screw in my life, but I'm going to, not tomorrow, but Wednesday, I hope.
What size master air screw?
These are 12.6.
Okay.
That's what he said he was using, so that's what I bought.
And those are
boys-
for
those
IC
boys
or
are-
are these electric?
They're electric. They're left hand. I mean pushers. You know.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
fly them turning the wrong direction.
Yeah,
If
I
you
like
want to
that.
get some, don't go to your hobby shop and ask them, because I went to my hobby shop and I asked them about it. I tried to get them to order me some, and I heard the darndest bunch of double talk you ever heard. Go to get on on the internet and just look up Master Air Screw, and then just go through their props and order it. They're
Okay.
not cheap, but they're not high, not
Like
bad.
how much are they each?
I think they're like $12 a piece, something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's cheap when you're thinking about carbon fiber
Oh, yeah.
3 blades.
Yeah, as I want to try a 3-blade electric pusher prop. I'd like to try it on my SV11.
That's what I got it for. I'm gonna cut one down to 11 and put it on probably try it on the Vector first, and then try 12-inch on the SV11. But I don't have a spinner for the SV11 yet. I'm trying to get one in. Going to use aluminum spinner on it, but the Vector and the Nobler have a nose issue, weight problems. They're a little portly in the front. So I'm going to put a carbon prop on it and see if I can't cut the weight down just a tiny bit. The darn prop, the spinners we can get nowadays are heavy. I don't know what the deal is, but they're just heavy.
I just got one from Brodak and it's nice.
Oh, if you can get what you need from Brodak, that is very nice.
Yes,
They
well,
are very nice, but
I
they don't
tried-
have the size I ordered.
Yeah, I tried to order one the last couple months for my new Heinz, and
Mhm.
they says, "Well, we have some that are uncut." And I said, "Well, send me some." He says, "Well,
Yeah.
machinist or somebody can cut them for you." I said, "I can cut it myself. Send it to me."
Yeah, I ain't scared. I'll cut it myself.
Yeah, I got it yesterday. It's a very nice spinner.
All you got to do, if you got a 3-blade, if you want to do a 3-blade, all you got to remember, plot and figure out exactly where. What I did was look at another prop, another spinner that was right. And I liked the way it was cut, and I liked the way it fit. And I took a piece of tape and I put it backwards on the thing, and I took a Sharpie and drew the shape. Then I turned that around and put it on the spinner forward, and the tape stuck. So then it's carbon fiber spinner. Then I just took my Dremel and I drilled a hole. You drill a hole right where you want the end of that prop to be. Just don't try cutting that end. Drill it. And then cut back, your 2 shapes, and you got it. And all you got to do is figure out where the other 2 props come out. It takes real thinking for that. Lay your prop down flat, lay the spinner on top of it, and go with a grease pencil or something and mark the darn thing. People, we're trying to make something difficult out of something that ain't that hard. It ain't rocket science. We don't need some of the brilliant people in this hobby to do some of this stuff. It just requires a little bit of common sense. But then just, if you're working with carbon, you can do what I used as a Dremel tool. They've got a cutting, I've forgotten what they call it, but it's a drill bit that will cut like crazy into, I call it a drywall bit. But you just take that and work real slow. I mean, make sure you got a good hold on the spinner and a good hold on that tool. Don't try to limp wrist in it, because that thing will try to eat you. But just take it real slow and easy, and don't try to get to the finished line. Get close, but don't get to the finish line. And then go back with a sanding drum, the tiny sanding drum on the Dremel, and take it to the line, and then take it back. When you pull the tape off, the thing looks perfect. It's not hard. I mean, if I can do it, I know some of you guys can do it, because Gordon, John, Howard, and any of you guys, man, you guys are the pros.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that carbon dust, because you get
I know.
Black boogers.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Black boogers.
No, I wear I'm scared of that crap. I wear not only a pair of mask when I'm wearing it for breathing, but I wear goggles over my eyes too. I ain't crazy about that stuff.
That's good.
That's plastic, and it gets in your lungs and you can't get rid of it.
No.
Hey, Howard, we saw you cut off loop. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I made you big, so we saw it.
Oh,
with a little bit of practice, you could be good.
Yeah, I need the practice. That's true.
You look, well, I thought you looked very good.
Yeah, I
Very
look good. But I don't fly that good at stunt.
Well, you might not fly that good, but you fly a heck of a lot better than I do. I liked it. Looked good. Your
Thank
dog
you.
flies very well. If you don't fly very well, your dog does.
It's a good dog. Thank you.
It looks good. It looked very good.
You was talking about building that Colossus. I'd like to share a quick story if I can with you.
Yeah, sure.
At the Nats, I was first up in expert with it, and I was flying it, and I'd won the classic. Then I was flying the Colossus in expert or in Pampa, and I had a practice flight. And back then I was a smoker, and I was flying inverted, and Bob Gieske had launched me.
Oh Lordy.
And I'm flying inverted, instead of just dropping the cigarette, I had to turn around and flip it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I turned back around, it was skidding inverted across the pavement. And Bob Gieske looked at it, he shook his head and turned around and walked off and didn't pick it up.
Oh no. You landed the Colossus inverted?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Under power.
Under
Yeah, I
power.
was there, I think.
Well, and it just so happened that year, I'd left all my props on my workbench.
Oh Lord.
No. No, I set them out to take them and just placed it off somehow. Anyway, Ted and Brett Buck says, what side of the prop? And I told him, he says, we'll take care of that. And Dave Fitzgerald's trying to help me straighten the spinner out and seal up the nose and the rudder because it grounded right down through the paint job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was number 3 or number 2, I guess, to fly. And I didn't even get a chance to try it. And they brought the prop back. It was still too big. So Dave took some cutters and waxed it off, and he sanded it on the pavement, trying to smooth the tips out. And we put it on there, and I said, let's make sure it fires. And I hit it, and the spinner and prop went flying across the field.
Oh no.
So we grabbed that, run back, put it back on, just in time to walk out to the circle for an official.
Mm.
Prop worked perfect. It was
Oh, good.
I have a similar Salt Lake City related story.
Okay.
I went down to the local field in Auburn. We flew at an airport there, and there was this yellow circle on the pavement. Well, it wasn't a complete circle. It was about quarter of a circle, maybe a little more. Perfect arc. It was yellow, and Pete Peterson done sort of the same thing.
No. Oh me.
And he builds beautiful airplanes.
He does, yeah, they're yellow.
Yeah, he says a couple of people ask him where he learned to paint, and he says from Gordon Delaney. And I says, you passed me up a long time ago. That he built a snowbird that was red, and he brought it over and ready to spray it. And I said, no. And they grabbed all these different colors and just poured them in a can, thinned them out, and we sprayed this ugly color on his snowbird. And I said, go home and sand that off. So he sands it all off, brought it back, and I said, well, we're getting close. And so I poured some more colors and sent him home again. And he sanded that all down, brought it back. I said, you're ready. And we painted this real pretty red with gold and black pinstriping. And it weighed 7 ounces.
Mm.
I don't know to this day what happened to it. I think he sold it.
Oh man.
Yeah. He taught me how to cover with polyspan.
Oh yeah. No, polyspan wasn't around then. Well, it was, but we weren't using it.
Yeah.
So somebody said they use that for liners and dresses. Is that true?
Yes.
Not my dresses.
Howard only wears silk dresses.
That's right.
Oh Lord.
Hey Steve, thanks for coming
Hello,
in.
Steve. How are you?
Good.
No
Good,
unnatural fabrics for the Jive Combat team.
You're using polyspan, aren't you, Howard?
Yes.
I love it.
I use it on about everything but fuselages.
Yep, I use silk span on my fuselage or silk.
Mhm. I have just, I can't say I'm not nervous about doing it, but I have just bought a bunch of lightweight silk span to try a finish the way Sparky does it. And we'll see. That's all I can say.
Time and be gentle.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I don't think you want to do it wet though. I think you just want to lay it out and kind of dope it and rub it out. I've tried that with the lightweight.
Mhm.
I try to pull it from on the wood, it pulls it apart.
Yeah, that's what I had. That's the experience I've had with it too. I think what I'm going to do is, like you say, I'm gonna put it on the plane and then just dampen it with a spray bottle, whatever you call it, mister,
You might want
and just tape it, just paint the edges down, and then put a mister on it and let that dry. And when that dries, I'm gonna just start putting the dope on it even, just 2 panels on the top and 2 panels on the bottom, and just work the whole thing out with tauntauning dope. Because as most of you know, I use non-tauntauning dope all the time. And I'm gonna go ahead and use tauntauning dope on the stuff and bring it up to color with tauntauning dope, and then go with my regular dope from there up and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I had a beautiful airplane that just destroyed itself. Is the only thing I can say. It just destroyed itself when the dope just kept getting tighter and tighter, and the paper started busting, and finally a couple of ribs busted. And I said, well, we won't do this again. So I've never done it again. But anyhow,
You know,
you live and learn.
when I covered my Colossus for the first time,
Mhm.
work and a couple panels had rips in them.
Yeah.
So I'd patch it, get it up to so I could paint the colors on. I'd come home the next day, there'd be more rips in it.
Yeah.
Based on that, I finally just took it all off and covered it with span.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna cover mine with polyspan, because that's an airframe that needs all the strength it can get, because if you ever take that wing and just take it and twist it,
Right.
I thought it would be stronger than that.
No, it's all the coverings where your strength is.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and polyspan that one.
Can you bring your airplane out and let us see it? Is it
No, not right now. I've got so much, I ain't gonna say crap. I've got so much stuff in the way in the basement. I've got it stashed away in the corner where nothing can get to it, including me, because I'm not ready for it. I have about 6 planes left to paint.
Wow.
And I'm working on get ready, John. I'm working on a Pathfinder. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
But I'm working on a Pathfinder. But when I finish Pathfinder, I'm gonna film, do the wings and film in the paint and fuselage in paint. It's electric, and it's I'm using some different ideas on it, but I'm trying to get this one done in a hurry and see what happens. And it's like another plane I did with film covering and painted the fuselage, and now I wish I'd painted the whole airplane. But it's the ones you think are going to be the beaters that turn out to be the ones you really want to fly in contest. But I have discovered that what I need to do is do a better job of covering. And the Adamov boys showed me that you can film cover one and then put paint over top of it, and it looked really good. Because if y'all have never seen Skittles and Education, you need to.
Is this a Brodak?
No, it's the Adamov boys are Mike Adamov's 2 sons, Gabe and Luca, and they are the junior senior winners at the last Nats, and they have, I think Education is basically a profile SV11. Skittles is an elliptical wing, and these kids are so talented flying, and they learn so fast, and they're such polite gentlemen that I'm just impressed as heck with them. Anything I can do to help either one of them, I'm more than happy to do, including loaning them a motor or whatever they need if they need it.
Well,
But they just really impressed the heck out of me. I've known Mike for several years. I judged my first Brodak. I judged old time class 2 and classic with Mike, and was really impressed with him. But his sons are as impressive as he is. They're just really, really nice kids. They're not really kids. I mean, they're young, but they don't act like kids. They act like young adults that are really got their stuff together.
Well, they're 14 and 16.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to remind yourself of that, because you're like you say, you're talking to young men. And
yeah, they are really, really great kids.
Yeah, Mike.
Really
That's great to hear.
They're not kids, but anyway,
yeah.
they're really great kids. They're really great people. And I just like all. I met their mama and met Mike. I knew Mike, and they did something right. If you go to the Nationals, and they're there, do yourself a favor, go meet these guys, because they are something else. You're doing yourself a treat.
Let me interrupt you guys. I'm behind on the chat box. 1 second. Jeff Riley says, this is kind of, we've passed the subject, but Jeff Riley says, master air screw props are fine, but drag a razor blade across the trailing edge, or they'll or they'll be like butcher knives, basically.
Oh yeah, that's like an APC. Yeah, I clean all of them up. I run sandpaper over all the edges. Now, I got cut so bad at the Nationals one year. A guy, I had a 46 my first experience with a Super Tiger 46. And a guy said, your ring is sticking. You need to clean it. I said, well, how do you clean a ring? I never heard this term. He said, well, put a 10-inch prop on the thing and just let it wind, and the ring will seat itself. Will clean and seat itself. Well, he gave me a propeller, and I figured it was ready to go. And I put it on there. It didn't feel that sharp. But first time I tried to flip that thing, boy, I mean, it cut. Let's see, my little finger already had 4 stitches in it. So I cut the crap out of my index finger. So then I had to bandage it up. And I'm a guy that flies on the fingertips. So both my end fingers were very sore. Still end up in top 20 of old time, which wasn't that much, but in those days there was like 40 of us. But I tell you what, I don't touch a prop anymore. I don't try to run a prop anymore until I've cleaned it with sandpaper, leading and trailing edge, and then balanced it. And
is Luca the oldest?
Yes,
I think so.
Yeah, Luca's the oldest, and Gabe.
Yeah, because Gabe came up to me at Brodak and he said, Luca, come here. Well, he just told him to come here. He walked over, he goes, show him your shirt. And he pulls up his sweatshirt, and he's got this AMA shirt like I got. He goes, you know what's funny? He goes, when Mom and Dad asked us what we wanted for Christmas, Lucas says, I want a shirt just like Steve Hines's. That he so he has that shirt. And I came by, I seen him later on that day. I went back to the car and I got my hat that matches. And I'm like, you got to get a hat. He goes, I bet he gets that for Christmas this year.
Wow.
It wouldn't surprise me.
You're an influencer,
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm going to buy him the hat at the Nats and give it to him.
Very
That'll
cool.
work. I tell you what got me. I wanted to see Steve at the Brodak, and dadgummit, he came the day after I left.
Oh, damn.
You didn't stay. I figured you'd come for a few days.
I stayed 3. That's longer than I meant to stay. I stayed an extra day to aggravate you, and then you didn't come till a day later.
I got there Wednesday.
Yeah, I had to leave Wednesday.
I have a question, you guys.
Go ahead.
I have a question. July 4th, I heard that they have these good sale prices on batteries. And I didn't really see any great prices. I went to Thunder Power, and Dennis, you can help me out. The battery that's called out for the SV11, the electric system we have, is a 4S 3500 milliamp battery. I couldn't find a 3500 milliamp. I could find a 3300 milliamp, and I could find a 4000.
That battery is the only place I've seen it is the place where Brodak gets it, a company called Bant.
Okay.
They have the 3500 in the small size, the light size, and they have a really totally different lineup. They have a really tiny 1800 battery that I use in the old timers now. That's
Did Thunder Power have a sale?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't they have it every 4th of July?
Yeah.
Yeah, 30% off.
Yeah, the code is July 2022, I think, the code. And you
Yeah.
get 25% off. But I just didn't see a 3500.
I was wondering if they were giving any kind of sales, because when I talked to the guy from Hobby King on their batteries, he said shipping was so much that he probably won't. He goes, you ain't gonna see any sales from Hobby King on batteries. They're going up. He was saying that the last battery shipment, the shipping was 400% higher on the container.
Wow.
And he said, he goes, yeah, motors, everything. He goes, ain't the price we're buying them for, it's the shipping. He goes, and they're saying that the next container is going to be up 1,000%.
Oh, okay. The other question I had before we end the show is, does anybody know how to get in touch with Ray Perkins, or is it? Or Ray Firkins? He's a really good builder.
Perkins.
Yes.
Perkins. You let him know I'd like to talk to him about maybe coming into the show. So I remember seeing his Heinz 57, and that was a beautiful plane. Boy, that's
Everything you see him fly is a beautiful airplane.
I've flown it several times. It flies really well.
Well, talk to him and let him know. I'd love to have him come in the show and share with us his expertise and his experiences and airplanes.
He knows how to finish. He's a great finisher, a great paint jobber. You know, anything that needs painted. He done the what was Palmer's? Oh, the skyscraper. I took it and was drawing up plans for it, and then he took it and went through and completely stripped it and repainted it like the original. And then I think it's over. It's in England. England, at a museum there.
The museum. Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll call Ray tomorrow. In fact, I talked to him just about a week ago.
Oh, great. Yeah, because I have the 2015 Pampa directory, and he moved. So the information I have is no good.
Yeah, he's in Texas now. So his dad is there, so I guess he wanted to move close to his dad.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gordon. I appreciate that in advance. Thank you very much.
And we're going to sign off here too. We haven't.
Yeah, we're going to be ending the live stream anyways. It's a little bit after top of the hour for us. And I know there might be someone else coming in the after party because of 4th of July. They're still blowing up fireworks here, but I imagine there might be people want to come in. So, well, thank you, Gordon. Oh, I see your finger there. It's healing up.
I had one thing I wanted to say about the covering on that Lake Silk span.
Sure.
White guys, they cover with tissue, and if you saturate too much of it, the wood maintains the moisture. When the tissue dries out, when it stretches, it'll rip. What some of the free flight guys do, they actually spray alcohol on the covering.
Alcohol.
It's damp enough so it'll shrink, but it dries off the wood.
It fell out of the refrigerator.
Yeah, it dries faster, and apparently it actually draws a little stronger too.
Okay.
Shrinks a little better.
Well, I give that a shot. Thank you. That's a good tip. 91.
I've never heard that tip.
Yeah,
That's great.
use a real fine mister, or heck, I mean, if you're really extreme, use a doggone airbrush, to get it on really fine.
Yeah, I've got a mister that's made for plants that is about as fine a mister as anything I've found.
Yeah.
Works
Yeah, my
real good.
nephew's, well, of course, he's doing stuff that's the size of indoor rubber models, but he's using either a mister or an airbrush. He'll actually use an airbrush to do if he's got a wrinkle that's giving him fits, he'll just attack it.
I got a friend he's from Tennessee that came to see me a few weeks ago.
All right, Gordon. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Gordon,
See ya.
take care. Good to see you, buddy. If you would, I'd like to get, seriously, I'd like to get a picture of that Colossus to paint mine the same way, the same colors and everything. Yours is beautiful.
I've got the pictures. I saved them. You could just put them on your wing, trace it out with a pencil, then mask out the pencil line off the wing. The paint right.
That'll work, or I'd put them through run them through my scanner and then put them on the printer and cut them on the Cricut and make a template. Wow. I cheat whenever I can. I'm lazy.
Well,
I use that Cricut.
I didn't have those. So I had
No, I didn't either until last year. My wife bought one and she's teaching me how to use it. And I'm not a good student for some reason, but because she's much better than I am. But anyway.
That sounds like my wife.
Yeah.
Well,
smart than I am. Gordon, you take care of yourself and take care of that Bart guy there beside you. He's there's hope for him being a good flyer one of these days too. Bart, good to see you, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Maybe you guys will show up Friday. It'd be great if you did. Thank you very much.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
I have another question from the chat box. And this is not an easy question, unfortunately. This is from Edward Carlaw. He says, what's a good starting point when starting with electrics?
I don't understand the question.
I'm assuming he's getting started with electric and wants to know.
I would say
get started.
Look at your Brodak catalog and look at about any of the planes that Brodak's done. Dennis has done kits to modify them to electric and got the motor, in the back of the catalog, it'll tell you the motor you need, the battery you need, the ESC, the timer. And I was having all kinds of fits with it. I started out with a Nobler. My first electric is a Nobler. And I just put an electric system in it. It was in there. I looked at a 35 size electric system and I put that in the Nobler and it works. So, but Dennis would be the one to answer this because he's the one who designed all these systems.
The biggest thing I would say is that I've tried converting several glow airplanes to electric and of course building them straight away. It's just try not to let yourself try not to convert a glow airplane. They just end up being heavy and things like that. You're too many compromises and stuff like that. Like Phil said, there's a sheet there in the Brodak on the website. It'll line up all of the products. Everything matches up. What motor you need and everything like that. And then of course it lists products that Brodak sells, but you can also use that as a guide for using brand X components too. The motors
build an electric airplane from scratch.
Yeah, build it
really
from scratch. That really going to save you a lot of grief.
Be way ahead in the game.
I would also suggest, I guess, what kind of airplane you're used to flying, start with an airplane like that. If you like Ringmasters, build a Ringmaster. If you like Noblers, build a Nobler, etc. Build something like that because it'll just give you a better frame of reference of where you're going.
If you're not a beginner and you can actually fly, I would say even go with the Vector ARF. With the setup that you got for it, and that's a great flying airplane.
You ain't kidding. That really is.
Starting out.
They did just find it was the craziest thing. I guess they were emptying out a building that they hadn't visited in a while, and they found a bunch of SV11 and Vector ARFs that they didn't even know that that had been misplaced, and they didn't know they had, but they went from being totally out of stock on SV11s to having like 50 of them. So
there's that too. Depends if you want
so
40 size airplane, but
I personally I like the Vector size airplane, but again, if you want to fly if you're used to flying big airplanes and stuff like that, you can do a lot worse than an SV11, that's for sure. So
let me ask a dumb question before I forget it again. You were talking about batteries. You said 3,500. You don't think a 2,800 would be big enough for an SV11?
I think a 33 would. All right.
That'd be big enough. 3,300. Okay.
I've got
Yeah,
20. I've
now,
got
now the key
2,800.
thing, now the key thing there is that the pack that was picked, that I picked for the SV11, that's a very light pack. It's a 10-ounce pack, 4 ounce and stuff. And at the time that we picked all that, it was the best you could do. It was like 2 ounces lighter than anything else. There are some lightweight 5 cell. I don't know if anybody can get that light in a 6 cell, but there are some batteries like that. And of course, if you do that, you have to pick a different motor, not rocket science or anything like that. It's easy enough to find a different motor, and you can use a 5 or a 6.
I just want an extra battery. That's what I'm trying to do. I have 4 batteries, and I want to get a 5th one.
Yeah.
Well, what I was thinking, I've got an SV11 kit downstairs. I was thinking about putting a 35. It's not a 35.
Probably a
What is it?
3515 or a 3520.
Maybe it is 3515 Cobra in it, and put a 2800 6 cell 2800 battery in it.
The 6 cell
You don't think-
2800 will be more than enough. 5 cell
Okay.
2800 would probably do it.
Well, I've got some
6
of those
cell,
too.
you
I'll
could
use
probably
that.
do 20. I'd go 6 cell 22, something like that. If you want to
I'll
use
have to
6
buy
cells.
some more batteries, but I've already got 6. I think I
You
have
got 6 cell
6.
28s, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be
I
fine.
also have 5 cell 28s. If you think that'll work, I'll try that.
5 cell 28 with about a 750 kV motor, you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just, I can't remember what the KV is, but it's a Cobra. 35.
Have you got your airplane bats in Tryon yet?
No. No, I talked to Tryon this week, and they were going to go. He was going to go to South Carolina and practice this weekend. And I told him, I said, I'm at Myrtle Beach. When I talked to him, I said, I'm at Myrtle Beach. Been here a week, trying to relax. But in the last 4 weeks, I've been to Virginia, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, now Myrtle Beach, which is also South Carolina. And by George, I'm going to spend a week at home. I'm tired. And they're coming next week to build my new building in the backyard. It's coming in. I'm sure it's going to be a prefab. They'll come in, lay the floor down, and then stand the walls up and then put the roof on it. But it's too big to come down the highway without some special permits, and they didn't want to do that. So they're bringing it on truck in pieces. But anyway, they said they're going to put it together in one day. So it ain't exactly stick built. I mean, it's stick built in the factory, but I think it'll be put together in one day here. But I'm going to be home Saturday to do that, which means I'm going to miss flying on Saturday with the guys. But when I talked to Tom about it, he says, we'll go Friday. I'm game. Let's go. So
what
I'm trying
what is
to get
going on with Tryon's elevator or something about the hinges?
He said that when he puts it right side up and he goes to give it up, the outboard wing floats. When he turns it over and flying inverted and he goes to give it down or up, which is up when you're inverted, the outboard wing floats. I said, Tryon, put some tip weight in the darn thing. If the outboard wing floats, it needs more tip weight. He says, no, that's not what's doing it. I said, well, that's what my airplane was doing, and I put tip weight in it and it fixed it. So I talked to him again day before yesterday, or maybe it was yesterday. I can't keep up anymore. I'm tired. He said this seems to be working, but I think he's at Mark Lumen's place, and I think they flew this weekend. I mean, I think he has been at Mark's. I don't think he is today because he had to be at work, where he had to be work in the morning. And he said the reason that he's not been coming in because he's working crazy hours. He's going in like 4 o'clock in the morning. So he's working some crazy hours. But anyway, no, I haven't seen him yet, and I haven't got the plane back yet. But I have talked to him a few times, and he seems to be trying his best to get ready for the Worlds.
Okay.
Right.
I'm
going to end the live stream, you guys. So let me just tell our audience goodbye. See you Friday. Hopefully you have a chance to do some flying or do some work in your shop and come back and share it with us. And we will see you then.